Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Brentford versus Manchester United preview. It's at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's Tuesday night, 7:30 kick-off. Manchester United are looking to make it 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against Norwich. The goal against Norwich came from a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty. Ronaldo won the penalty because he got brought down by Max Aarons. Ronaldo now has 13 goals in all competitions since he re-signed for Manchester United. And he's got 802 goals in his career. Ronaldo had a good chance in the first half against Norwich. It produced a good save from Tim Krul. He also had a good chance towards the end of the game from close range, but he put it over the bar. It was a poor performance by Manchester United against Norwich. It's back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Ralph Rangnick as Manchester United manager. Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then after that, Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. If Rangnick does well as the interim manager, there's a chance that he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis. Rangnick has been given a £100 million transfer budget for January. Rangnick has a midfield plan at Manchester United. ESPN said prior to the Norwich game that Amadou Haidara, Calvin Phillips and Jude Bellingham are key targets for Ralph Rangnick. Don't forget, Rangnick told bosses at Manchester United that their midfield is weak in his interview for the job. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Manchester United have got players missing. Now, Victor Lindelof, as you all know, he had to come off against Norwich because he was suffering breathing difficulties and he had chest pains. Lindelof obviously was seen by the club's doctor and Lindelof seems okay, though that's according to Ralph Rangnick. Wan-Bissaka, he's out with injury at the moment. He came off injured in the 1-1 draw with Young Boys. Varane, he's still out, but he's close to returning. Edison Cavani, he's still out, but he's close to returning. Pogba, he's out with a thigh injury. Pogba is out for the rest of the year. Martial, he recently picked up an injury. So there you go. As for Brentford, they're enjoying a very good season to their standards. You know, Brentford are 9th in the Premier League. Brentford won their last game against Watford 2-1. This season has been Brentford's first ever season in the Premier League. Before this season, the last time Brentford were in the top flight was back in 1947. Brentford's manager is Thomas Frank. He's been Brentford manager for over 3 years now. He's under contract with Brentford until 2023. Before, Thomas Frank was the Brentford assistant. Before, he managed Bromby. And before, he managed Denmark's under-16s, under-17s, and he managed Denmark's under-19s. Brentford have got good players. Obviously, they've got Ivan Toney. He's probably the best player that Brentford have got. Ivan Toney is not available for this game as he's got COVID. Brentford have also got Max Haygarth. He's an attacking player. They've also got Marcus Fors. Brentford have also got Tariq Fosu. He's out with injury at the moment. They've also got Brian Mbumo. You know, he's a very, very good attacking player. They've also got Sergi Canos. He's another one of the key players that Brentford have got. They've also got Charlie Goode. They've got Pinnock. Pinnock is out with COVID. Shandon Baptiste, you know, he's a good player for Brentford. Christian Norgard, he's also good. Brighton have also got Finn Stevens. They've got Rico Henry. Brentford have also got Pontus Jansson. Brentford have also got Joel Valencia. So yeah, they are quite a few of the players that Brentford have got. Let's put into the equation, Brentford lost Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa. They also lost Ben Rama to West Ham. On my next video, I'll be giving you my score prediction for this game. Manchester United's next game after Brentford is Brighton. Manchester United are 5th in the Premier League at the moment. There is a good chance that Manchester United will finish in the top 4 this season. Obviously, we need to finish in the top 4 so we can get qualification for the Champions League for next season. I can assure that Manchester United will get a permanent manager at the end of the season. Obviously, there's been a few names linked with the permanent role at Man United. Erik Ten Hag, he's been linked with a permanent role at Man United. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Erik Ten Hag is said to be interested in the Manchester United job. And Ajax will not stand in his way if he wants to leave at the end of the season. Revert back to not so long ago, Edwin van der Sar spoke about Manchester United's interest in Erik Ten Hag. Edwin van der Sar believes Erik Ten Hag may leave Ajax in the summer. Edwin van der Sar expects a Man United role in the future. I'd love to see Edwin van der Sar come back to the club. You know, Edwin van der Sar is a former Man United goalkeeper. Edwin van der Sar is the CEO of Ajax. He's worked as a CEO at Ajax since 2016. Roberto Mancini, revert back to the other week, there was reports coming out about him possibly becoming Man United's next permanent manager. It did say that Man United consider hiring Roberto Mancini as their next permanent manager. But recently Roberto Mancini denied becoming Manchester United's next permanent manager. Obviously Pochettino has been mentioned. I still believe that Pochettino is the favourite to become Manchester United's next permanent manager. And revert back to earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers was also mentioned. You know, Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, Manchester United sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and 3 weeks ago Manchester United sacked Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Manchester United are going to offload players next year. Dean Henderson has said that he wants a loan move away from Man United. Henderson doesn't really get in goal because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson was in goal for the 1-1 draw against Young Boys, but that was only his 2nd appearance this season. Revert back to earlier on in the season, Henderson was out with COVID for a while. But towards the end of last season, Henderson got the number 1 jersey and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Our second choice fullbacks, Delors and Telles, there's a good chance that they'll be leaving next year. Delors played against Norwich yesterday and I thought he put a poor performance out. He was nowhere near as good as he was in the games against Crystal Palace and Arsenal. You know, Delors got a booking yesterday against Norwich. He was lucky not to be booked in the first half for the challenge he made on Josh Sargent. Obviously, Delors our backup right back to Pisaka. Last season, Delors had a loan spell with AC Milan, and reflecting on that, he gained some experience. Manchester United got Delors for around £19 million from Porto. Alex Telles, he played against Norwich yesterday. I thought he was quite poor. You know, he looks very, very sloppy on the ball. Got dispossessed as well in the game quite a lot of times. Telles though did have a good chance in the game from the free kick. It hit the crossbar. Telles was good in the games against Palace and Arsenal, and he also played well in the 1-1 draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge earlier on in the season. I still think he's a good left back, Telles, despite his poor performance yesterday. Revert back to earlier on in the season, Telles had an injury. The reason Man United brought him in though was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Man United got Telles for £15.4 million with add-ons included. I think Phil Jones and Eric Bailly will be leaving the club next year. You know, Jones doesn't get in the team. Phil Jones, I'd say, has always been inconsistent. Jones at one point was out with a knee injury for a while. Did you know that Phil Jones is the only outfield player that's still with Man United since the Ferguson era? This season is his 11th season at the club, so he has been a long-serving player. As for Eric Bailly, you know, he doesn't get in the team much, does he? Obviously, Bailly had to come on yesterday against Norwich to replace Victor Lindelof. Eric Bailly played in the 1-1 draw against Young Boys in midweek, and he put a very good performance out. You know, he made some good blocks and some good clearances. I think he's done well in all the games he's played in this season, apart from the game against Man City when Man United lost 2-0, because Bailly was very, very poor in that game. My concern about Bailly is injury prone. Towards the end of last season, he signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Bailly lost his place in the team a while ago, obviously with the club re-signing Varane last summer. And obviously Lindelof has been preferred to Bailly. Bailly's been at Manchester United since 2016. Man United got him from Villarreal for £30 million. Paul Pogba, he could leave Manchester United next year. Don't forget, prior to the game against Norwich, Ralph Rangnick will not try to persuade Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United if he wants to go. You know, Pogba's current contract expires next summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid. His former club Juventus have been in for him. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years at Juventus before he re-signed for Manchester United. PSG have been in for him before, Barcelona have been in for him before, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, and Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola has been working hard for quite some time now to get his client a move away from the football club. As you all know, Pogba's not available at the moment because he's out with a thigh injury. He has been a big miss because he's a good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player. Revert back towards the start of the season, Pogba was in scintillating form. He's got 7 assists so far in the league this season. Revert back towards the end of last season, Pogba produced good performances. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and Man United paid 89 million for him. So reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Matic, I think there's a good chance that he's going next year. Matic wasn't available for the game against Norwich because he's got a cold. Matic did start at centre-half against Young Boys in midweek, and he put a very poor performance out. Can't see Matic being deployed as a centre-half again. But Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities, and surprisingly enough, he's been ahead of Van der Beek in our midfield. I think Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder that Man United have got. I've always had my reservations about him. Matic has been at Manchester United since 2017. Man United paid £40 million for him from Chelsea. Van der Beek, I think there's a good chance that he'll be leaving in January. Van der Beek doesn't get enough starts at Manchester United. He didn't start yesterday's game against Norwich, but he came on in the game. Van der Beek did start in the 1-1 draw against Young Boys in midweek. He was in an unfamiliar role in that game. Obviously, he was the holding midfielder. Van der Beek did well against Young Boys recently. Apart from the poor pass he made that led to the Young Boys equaliser. Van der Beek's only scored 2 goals for the club, and he's been a Manchester United player for over a year and a half. This season's been his 2nd full season at Man United. But revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, Van der Beek got nowhere near enough opportunities, and reflecting on that, he was very frustrated. And I said the only way we can persuade him to stay is if he gets the opportunities he's been demanding under Ralph Rangnick. Manchester United got Van der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Van der Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Jesse Lingard, I think he's leaving next year. I'm hearing that Newcastle want Jesse Lingard, and Newcastle are preparing a contract offer for him. Revert back to earlier on in the season, it said West Ham want to re-sign Jesse Lingard. Second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham, and he made an impact. I heard as well earlier on in the season that Lingard's interested in going abroad. Lingard doesn't really get in the team, does he? He's only made 2 starts this season. Revert back to earlier on in the season, the BBC said though that Lingard's future at Man United is in doubt after talks over a new contract collapsed. Lingard's contract at Man United expires next summer. If we sell Lingard in January, I reckon we can get around £10 million for him. Edison Cavani, he'll be leaving the football club next year. Revert back to the other week, it said Cavani is interested in making a move to Barcelona, and Barcelona are keen on signing Edison Cavani in January, but only for a modest price. You know, Edison Cavani's contract at Man United expires next summer. Revert back to May. Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension. Cavani, as you all know, is out of injury at the moment. He had an injury earlier on in the season. Cavani initially lost his place in the team with the club re-signing Ronaldo last summer. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG, and this season is Cavani's second full season at Man United. Anthony Martial, you know, the news on him. Before the Norwich game, Martial's agent confirmed that Anthony Martial wants to leave Manchester United in January, because obviously Martial wants more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Martial's only started 2 games in the Premier League this season. The last game Martial played was a 2-0 win against Villarreal. He started on the left-hand side in that game. As you all know, Martial's out of injury at the moment. Martial's no longer good enough to represent the club anyway. He's only enjoyed one good season at Man United, I think, and that was his debut season under Van Gaal. Martial's been at Manchester United for 6.5 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. Martial has scored 79 goals in 268 appearances in all competitions for Man United. Man United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial, rises up to around 57-58 million with add-ons included. And Juan Mata, I think he's also going next year. So there you go. So there guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.